internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to an episode of 24-Hour Script. Let's get right into today's video. Shocking. A 9-hour video that was published on the Government Blockchain Association YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, there was about 2,500 people that watched that video on YouTube. And in today's video, I went over it. I'm gonna give you little cuts and clips of it, and it's gonna give you the goosebumps. Why don't we start off with it right off the bat? Take a listen to them talking about how basically history is being made, and this video will be watched all around the world sometime, okay, one day. And all the content that we film on this channel, talking about XRP going to double digits, triple digits, it's gonna happen 100%. But take a listen to it from the Global Blockchain Association. And before I play the video, let me show you guys a little background of who these individuals are. Pretty much, they promote blockchain technology solutions to governments. And look who's all involved here, folks. Over 500 government offices around the world. And this is just some of the samples of everybody involved. And then we're gonna get into SWIFT, we're gonna get into the G20. The G20, folks, that is, we are 100% on the money with that. But take a look at everybody that is on board here. Everybody is, every state, every country is here. Let's get into the video.
There's two things happening, right? From the bottom, there's a groundswell of this activity. Cities and states considering and actually adopting cryptocurrency. And at the national level, there's somewhat of a degree of panic to try to figure out how to deal with this. And at this event, we have folks that are tuning in, including Deputy Assistant Secretaries of the Treasury, ambassadors, people from World Bank, IMF, these global and national institutions. We have folks that are tuning in, including Deputy Assistant Secretaries of the Treasury, ambassadors, people from World Bank, IMF, these global and national institutions, right, who for the longest time said, talk to me about blockchain, don't talk to me about cryptocurrency, right? Cryptocurrency is a scam. And at the same time, we've got folks that are actually implementing it at city, state, and national levels. And those two things are coming together. And I think for probably the very first time, we have a very, very serious discussion of those two elements coming together. So I personally believe that this event that we're going to participate in the next today and tomorrow is literally going to be historic. These videos are going to be watched all over the world. And the most important thing is the Roaring 20s reception, right? Because for those of you who have been to GBA events before, those are the hallmark, and those are where the deals get made. Because for those of you who have been to GBA events before, those are the hallmark, and those are where the deals get made, right? So we have a lot of folks from the Congress that are not going to be here during the day, but they will be there. So you'll meet a lot of really fascinating and interesting people.
And then they even went on to mention that Bitcoin is probably not going to be the one. It's going to be an asset that actually provides real utility. Oh my goodness, listen to this.
That's why you can't stop this. You can try, And again, it's not like Bitcoin will be the end all and be all. I think you're going to get Bitcoin 2.0. I think you get Bitcoin 3. I don't know what it looks like. All I know is that once this type of technology is surfaced and has proven its utility in helping people to self-actualize, then you can't really get rid of it. You really should try to get along.
I cannot believe that 99% of the world's population is going to miss out on this opportunity. And in a moment, we're going to get into a video by Nadine Chakar. She's one of the most powerful women in finance, ranked number 3. you gotta listen to what she says. You guys are gonna run to the bank, liquidate everything, and put everything into crypto, folks, because you gotta listen to what she says here. But first, listen to this. Swift and Wise joined forces to expand cross-border payment options globally. What? You guys know, Swift can't do this alone, and in yesterday's video, we covered that. And why is Swift joining with Wise? The new collaboration will help financial institutions provide more choice to their customers for cross-border payments. I recall an individual that actually is working currently at Wise that was a very important key player within Ripple. Well, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your one and only Ryan Zagone. Worked at Ripple for almost 5 years, and now he's at Wise for 3 years and 1 month. Before that, he was at the Steering Committee, Federal Reserve's Faster Task Force, and this is where he was promoting Ripple and XRP. Folks, let me tell you guys this. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Individuals that are leaving Ripple and going to other payment companies are going there with experience, because Ripple's technology will have a massive impact within these payment infrastructures and payment companies. Okay, they need individuals like Ryan Zagone at Wise. They need individuals like Margin Delatin at Settled, right? That worked at Ripple for years. This is just the beginning. Our collaboration with Wise illustrates how Swift can be the bedrock from which the whole industry can innovate to improve cross-border payments and enhance the options available for customers across the globe. These types of collaborations also enable Swift customers to leverage their existing infrastructure to reach the services of their choice securely while maintaining data integrity, end-to-end transparency, and traceability that ties the whole ecosystem together. And remember what the Swift CEO said about bringing every economy together. And they go on to, again, mention the G20, of course. The collaboration is also directly aligned with both G20 and UN Sustainable Development Goals. And if you guys remember what Ripple is working with the UN, you can't make this stuff up. On the speed, transparency, cost, and access of cross-border transactions. Cooperation such as this will be vital in our collective efforts to achieve the G20 targets for cross-border payments and enable seamless, efficient, and secure movement of value around the world. Okay, around the fragmented world, folks. We are right, 100% right. They're going with the G20 targets. Remember what I said yesterday, G20 trumps everything. Same with the IMF. And even Wise came out and made it public back in 2018. We're not using Ripple tech right now, but not ruling out the possibility, always considering new ways to make TransferWise better for customers. And then a couple of years later, 2 years later, Ryan Zagone went into Wise. And now, let's get into Nadine Chakar. Take a listen to what she says here. This, and let me show you guys a little background, okay? So currently, she is at State Bank. State Bank has about $3.6 trillion under management, okay? Founded in 1792. So long time ago, a vintage institution, okay? Now, if we go into her LinkedIn profile, as you guys could see, State Street, Chief Executive Officer at Securrency, which we're going to get into in a moment. And before that, she worked at BNY Mellon for over 6 years, folks. Over 6 years. Take a listen to what she says here, and then we're going to get into Securrency. It's going to completely shock you.
In 2017 and 18, I was walking around the IMF and World Bank days of the OECD saying everything that can be tokenized will be, including non-native digital assets, physically off-balance sheet things where, really there are huge opportunities in opening up participation and liquidity. But I couldn't agree with you more.
I think the market is about $1 trillion today, give or take. And then when you look at all the other assets in the world, depending on whose report you read, it varies between 300 trillion and 700 trillion. It is my firm belief that everything can be tokenized. So it's not just big, it's huge. So it could go, I honestly think the sky's the limit. I truly believe everything can be tokenized. And I think in the beginning, it's going to be, we're going to see a big push for non-liquid assets. So I think there's this correlation between liquidity and tokenization. We'll see that push there. But at some point, when you think about the ease of processing, because a lot of my clients will say, why would we want to tokenize an ETF? Why would we want to tokenize a stock? I think the liquidity, the ease of administration, the velocity of distribution of collateral, right? The sky's the limit. So, Lawrence, my guess will be someday everything will be tokenized, and we won't stop until that day comes. So that's for me, as I said in the beginning, it's Bitcoin is great, crypto's great, DLT is great, but for us, the real crux of everything that we're doing is centered around tokenization.
They all know that things are about to get extremely, extremely interesting in the financial infrastructure. Okay, with tokenized assets coming, she's talking about 300 trillion to 700 trillion, but folks, it's much bigger than that. And we're talking about value. Remember that. We're moving value from one end to another.
Interoperability probably is moving to a new era, interoperability of any forms of value.
And to make that interoperable, you're going to require some sort of a high liquid asset, okay, to bridge these tokenized assets together. This is very important for everybody to understand. Now let's get into securrency. Well, look at this. It's just like Ripple, right? Global liquidity, financial freedom for all. Everybody will have their own connectors, but Ripple will be the final layer of all of this. Like Ripple, you can't compare Ripple to anything else. Like there is so many big partnerships that haven't been announced yet that will be revealed very, very soon. Securrency's protocol can be utilized on the Ethereum, Stellar, Ripple, GoChain, EOS, and other distributed ledgers, as well as on legacy systems, allowing for seamless on-chain and off-chain movements of tokens. We know Ethereum and Bitcoin, they're just not sustainable. EOS, that's not gonna work either. Remember, none of these assets actually have clarity across the world. XRP has clarity in the entire planet. Everybody could utilize XRP, but everybody's waiting for the right moment. I know it sounds cliche, but you gotta understand, it's happening 100%, whether you see it or not. And a lot of people are gonna miss out on this. Back in 2020, Securrency secured $17 million in funding. And take a listen to what they said here. Again, just like what I was talking about earlier. Securrency recognized early on that global liquidity for digital securities will result from validated identity and multi-jurisdictional compliance, and that a convenient framework for universal interoperability would unlock the power of blockchain technology in the financial markets. Now, it was Dan Donnie, at the time, the CEO of Securrency. This is what everybody's looking for. This is what the World Bank, the IMF are looking for. A universal interoperability level playing field to connect every economy together.
To learn from each other, the ability to enhance each other's understanding, the ability to connect the diverse economies, the 200 or so countries in the world, and make sure the payment system works for all different profiles of companies.
Interoperability of economies, actually connect more than 200 countries
understanding the ability to connect the diverse economies, the 200 or so countries in the world. And
interoperability probably is moving to a new era, interoperability of any forms of value.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we will be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.